But, Sel, you up first. Is this season hurting LeBron's legacy?
No, it's not hurting LeBron's legacy. For all you prisoners of the moment right now, who's going to try to come down with a heavy hand to really indict and convict the king, the GOAT, of playing poorly? Oh, case dismissed, because the king is balling out of control. Oh, but it's not translating. That's what's going to hurt his legacy. Look how sorry the Lakers are. Must I remind you of some of the other greats that flamed out at the end of their career and didn't have championship success? Do y'all know that there's only been one team to have a hip, hip, hooray parade of championship level since LeBron James has had his parade? I must remind you guys that LeBron James is balling out of control. And the only thing you're going to use is, well, look at it now. I'm saying, no, look at it in comparison to others of his same level of greatness and how that turned out. Y'all remember Michael Jordan, right? I mean, I know a lot of kids got on the outfit, but do y'all remember actually watching him play, especially when he turned 35? Averaged 21 points a game. You know LeBron is at 27 points a game since he turned 35. Y'all remember Kareem? I remember Kareem, and this was an interesting experience, and this is no shots, Kareem. You know I love you, big dog. But I remember watching him. I was like, okay, so I'm like 13 at the time, right? Then all of a sudden I start watching him. I was like, Magic way ahead of Kareem. Kareem coming. And it went this way and it went that way fast, averaging 18 points a game after the age of 35. LeBron is still balling out of control. The team's success is not there unless you just want to look just 2 short years ago when this team was a championship team. So, no, I'm not a prisoner of the moment. I'm not like you guys. I actually do my homework and do my research, and I know the game. So, no, nothing I see right now is hurting LeBron's legacy.
Slick, what I love about Marcellus, he shoots when he's not under attack, and he does not know who he is shooting. No, I'm not a prisoner of the moment. Unlike you guys. He has no idea, Slick, what your take is. No idea what my take is, and he just spouting off. I love it, Sel. I love it.
Did I hit somebody? Anybody hit?
LeBron, his legacy is taking a hit. His legacy is taking a big hit. A massive hit. Why? Because LeBron's legacy was not defined or created off of his individual accolades. So LeBron's legacy will not be hurt off his individual greatness. His legacy will be hurt off his collective shortcomings. When we talk about Michael Jordan versus LeBron James, the first thing we mention is 6 championships. We mention never losing a championship, which Michael Jordan clearly did, but he did as a team, a championship. We don't mention Michael Jordan's 10 scoring titles. We don't mention Michael Jordan's all NBA teams. We don't mention Michael Jordan's all defensive teams. We mention championships, a collective. So LeBron is going to be hurt by his lack thereof. The biggest knock on LeBron James' legacy in comparison to Michael Jordan is LeBron James went to 10 finals, but only won 4. Jordan went to 6 and won 6. But the biggest praise many can say in regards to LeBron James' legacy is he went to 10 finals, y'all. While Michael Jordan was either in the finals, Jordan was boom or bust. I'm either going to the finals or I ain't even going to make the playoffs or I'm going to have a super early exit. LeBron James was like, hey, I might not win, but I'm going to be there. I'm either finishing in first or second. 9 out of 10 years, that is LeBron James. So if you take LeBron James's biggest bartering chip, which is, I was either the best team in basketball or the second best team in basketball for 9 out of 10 years. If you take LeBron's biggest chip and undermine it, by now, I might not even make the playoffs 2 out of my 4 years in L.A. And in the other year in L.A., I was a first-round exit, and I snuck a chip in there. That crushes a legacy. Slick is somebody who goes to the barbershops to argue on behalf of LeBron. I make the argument. Even in my most recent book, I make the argument. A first-place finish and 4 first-place finishes and 6 second-place finishes is greater than 6 first-place finishes in every metric of measurement in life, period. 4 firsts, which LeBron has, in 6 seconds is better than 6 firsts, period. But LeBron, when you start diluting my argument by, well, LeBron didn't even make the playoffs one year. Well, LeBron didn't make the playoffs the other year he got hurt. And LeBron had a first round. Now LeBron is undermining the argument of people like me who try to argue for him. So, yeah, man, his legacy taking a hit.
I can add to that. But that was very well done. Marcellus, you're moving the goalposts.
Yes,
we've never, to Acho's point, we've never judged LeBron James on his statistics. You're bringing up statistics, and you're comparing statistics between eras. Let's not go scoring averages when Michael was, he was 35, but he was still winning a championship. It is a matter of what those numbers produce. So, yes, to answer the question, yes, he's taking a big hit. Because first of all, let's just look at what's happening with the Lakers right now. It's not just that they're losing or that they're 11 games under 500. They're getting mollywopped. Acho said they didn't just lose, they got blown out. That seems to be happening on a regular basis. But it's not just that they're getting blown out now. It's that they're also not winning the close games. I'm glad, Marcellus, that you brought up Michael Jordan, because we always talk about those Wizards years as being well beneath him. That if anything would take a hit on his legacy, it would be the 2 Wizards years. And yet, while he was out of the game for 3 years and came back and played at an age older than LeBron right now, when you put him in a game that he was capable of winning, on a team far less talented than this Lakers team, he would win. 3 points or less, 17 and 12 over those 2 years. 3 points or less with these Lakers, they're 5 and 6. It's not just that they're getting blown out. It's that they're not winning the close games. LeBron has not been able, and we've got the statistics to prove it, in terms of being able to come through, even if this team gets him to the finish line. But the biggest difference in comparing where Jordan wound up versus LeBron, and why the Wizards years haven't taken as much of a chunk out of Jordan's legacy as this year will, is because we didn't come into those years, those Wizards years, expecting anything from those Washington Wizards. They weren't supposed to be title contenders. They weren't supposed to even be a playoff team. Whole different story with this group. LeBron James has all-time greats next to him. And one of the things that he was always able to do, a big part, maybe the biggest part of his legacy, was he could identify the talent he needed, he could recruit it, and then he could win with it. He's not coming close to doing that with this crew. So, yes, his legacy is taking a hit.
Oh, my goodness. Look here, Marcellus, Wiley, as I look at here. Woo, y'all are funny. Yeah, I had to do my research real quick, and boy, this is going to hurt. Oh, let me do what you just did, Slick. Let me hit him with the Denzel. Let me hit him with the training day claps. The James Worthies. Oh, I'm clapping before I talk because I know I'm about to preach. Here we go. Michael Jordan last 2 years with the Washington Wizards. Should have made it a real Wizard to help this win-loss record because, boy, 37 and 45 the first year, 5th in the division. Okay. Michael Jordan, all right, that's the first year out of retirement. You've been out, dust the Jordans off. Next year, you're going to come back stronger. Let's go get them. Go. 37 and 45, 5th in the division next year. Same exact. Y'all better stop playing with me. And then all of a sudden, right now, we're looking at a Lakers team.
How many all-time greats on that roster?
All-time greats on that roster? I love it. Now we're going to have my conversation, which is the devil's in the details. Now, you tell me the devil's not in the details when I start bringing up statistics, categories, ranks, age, et cetera. But you want to have a macro conversation when it helps Jordan. But then when all of a sudden I start getting into those details, well, who else was there? Was Anthony Davis there for LeBron James this year? No. And if this is going to hurt LeBron, why are we talking about Russell Westbrook so much? We're not always talking about Russell Westbrook so much, y'all, as a scapegoat, or the real reason is because we know this is not on LeBron. So if it's not on LeBron, how's it going to hurt his legacy? And he doesn't have his other all-time great in the building, Slick. Come on, man. Help me out with this one, Slick.
So here's the distinction when it comes to a macro look. I'm not judging LeBron right now on his statistics. By the way, I knew this argument was going to go this way.
Yeah, I knew.
If you wanted to say that his legacy has actually been helped, it's because you judge LeBron based on his collective numbers. And at 37, vying for a scoring title, you could say, wow, it's impressive. He's never been a scorer, and yet he's in the scoring race. But it comes down to how you judge what LeBron has done. And we've never talked so much about the statistics as we have this season. Why? Because there's nothing else to talk about when it comes to LeBron doing something great. This team has been an unmitigated disaster. And the one thing that I always gave LeBron credit for is the fact that he could take a disparate group, that he knew the kind of pieces that he needed to play for a championship. He would identify them, he would go get them, and then he would win with them. Well, he did all that this year. And those pieces have not delivered, and LeBron hasn't been able to unlock their ability to win. That wasn't the case with Jordan. I'm just looking at the talent around him on that team at 38, 39. He had nobody that he could look to and say, man, if I could just get a little bit more out of what? Kwame Brown? And no offense to Kwame Brown, 19 years old, just coming into the league. I mean, Chris Whitney, go down the line. There just wasn't any talent. Brendan Haywood, there was no talent on that team. We had a completely different perspective. I never thought that this Lakers team was a title contender. But I certainly didn't think they were going to be the 10th team in the Western Conference. And more than anything, that they were going to be lifeless and disinterested, because that's the other hit that LeBron takes. What we've always talked about. LeBron is this tremendous leader. LeBron galvanizes guys. He brings them together. He develops chemistry. He makes them want to play for a champion. He allows them to see the rainbow, or the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow.
Look at you.
We're seeing none of that this year. So it raises that question, why? And that's a hit on a legacy.
I love it, Slick. I'll say it like this. If it built it, it can break it. But if it didn't build it, it can't break it. So if LeBron's legacy was built on championships or lack thereof, then what will break LeBron's legacy will be a lack of championships. LeBron's legacy is built upon the fact that he went to 10. He's gone to 10. He's won 4. So the only thing that can break it is not going to them and not winning them. To Slick's point, if LeBron's legacy was built off individual statistics, he would be unequivocally the best basketball player of all time. 10,000 plus points, 10,000 plus boards, 10,000 plus assists. He will finish his career at the top of the scoring list more than likely, 56 points away from passing Karl Malone, and just a few more there until he passes Kareem and ends up as the best scorer of all time for a guy that's not even a scorer. Somebody got to make that make sense. If LeBron's legacy was built upon individual greatness, then we would never argue about LeBron or Michael Jordan, because statistically LeBron is a better passer, statistically LeBron is a better rebounder, statistically LeBron is a better scorer. At the end of the day, if LeBron's legacy was built upon individual statistics, there'd be no argument. But LeBron's legacy has always been built upon how does he fare in comparison to Jordan when it comes to chips. And now this season is only going to dilute that. So while I hear the argument you're making, Marcellus, Wiley, I fully agree with my brother Slick Rick. LeBron's legacy was not built off his individual scoring, and thus it will not be made greater by another individually great season.
Let me just give y'all some of these boring, detailed perspective stats that should help an argument from two intellectuals that I'm looking at on screen. But I guess in today's world, don't let the facts get in the way of a good story. LeBron James this year is averaging more points than Luka. There are other great names, but Luka's the best of those names, I think. Well, maybe Steph Curry. He's averaging more. Shooting better than Kevin Durant from the field. Shooting better from 3 than Chris Paul, Jason Tatum, who are balling. Y'all better stop playing with me. Look, LeBron James is showing up at your house. And he's like, look, what's the problem, man? Let's go. And he's like, man, my car won't start. He's like, all right, I'll hook you up. Because LeBron got that battery. And then LeBron brought cables, too, because you know LeBron going to do more. He extends himself. And then he's like, pop the hood, homeboy. Pop the hood. And then you pop the hood, and guess what? No AD, no battery. Westbrook in there. All right. And y'all blaming LeBron